Staying on with us on that breaking development, but we shift our focus to other news. South Korea says the US has released a video showing the arrest of Korean workers and has called it regrettable, raising diplomatic tensions just days after a summit between the two nations' leaders. The footage released by US immigration officials showed hundreds of workers shackled at the wrists, waist, and ankles. The operation involved over 475 arrests, in which more than 300 of them were Korean nationals. Seoul has expressed concern and warned that it could damage bilateral trust and affect ongoing trade talks. President Trump defended the move, while South Korean officials are now pushing for swift resolution and accountability. That's the latest that we're tracking for our viewers from the United States of America. South Korea has now slammed the US after it released a video showing the arrest of Korean workers and has called that video regrettable. South Korea has now raised diplomatic tensions just days after a summit between the two nations' leaders. The footage that has been released by US immigration officials has shown hundreds of workers shackled at the wrists, waist, and ankles. Dr. Sanjay Kumar, journalist at the Korea Herald, joins us on the broadcast. Dr. Kumar, interesting developments taking place between America and South Korea. There's a large operation that has been conducted by the United States of America in which majority of the people who've been arrested are of South Korean origin. How exactly is South Korea now hoping to resolve this latest problem?
Well, the South Korean Foreign Ministry has designated the Washington DC's consulate general to be on ground there, on site there with an emergency response. All-time response system has been channelized there, and they have met also the consular officers. They have met also the detainees, and they were found in not bad conditions. Everything was okay. None of them had any health conditions or like deteriorating health conditions. But concerns are growing not only in the political circles in Korea, but also among the people here in South Korea, because the manner in which those had been arrested, it looked like not less than a war front military style of action, and that has sent huge shock waves, because in Korea, being in alliance with United States and even Hyundai, which has promised a few years back almost $21.5 billion in Korea. Recently, President Lee Jae-myung and President Trump has agreed to invest almost $500 billion in the US. So these things are sending a huge shockwaves to many in Korea, because they are considering, I mean, the South Koreans are considering that why it is happening to us. We are going there to invest. We want to contribute to the American economy, and we are with Trump spirit. And if this is happening, then it may affect some initiatives in coming months, such as MASGA, like make American shipbuilding great again kind of things. So they are not ready to accept this kind of action. But because of the federal law structure and the law enforcement things, there are some technicalities of visa issues. For example, ideally, those who have been detained, no matter they were working on the ground with visa, but their visas were not proper visa. That is where the technicality lies right now. Ideally, they should be they should have received H1B or H2B, or there are some visas like E4 category, but none of those visas were used by the detainees, and that is making a huge concern, because they were on B1, B2, or ESTA visa. So, and that visas are not, with that visas, you are not allowed to work on the ground and long-term or even short-term employment. That is solely based for like short-term meetings and some business meetings and tourism. So because of that, it is it has become a technical issues. But South Koreans here are hoping that all these detainees must be at least released and sent back to Korea. I mean, their home country as soon as possible. Otherwise, it is going to be a big political issue in South Korea, and also diplomatic diplomatic concerns also are being raised right now.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast with that perspective. Meanwhile, more news from the